Well, four siblings have formed a startup in hopes of taking skateboarding to a whole new level. Indianapolis-based BlackCraft says it plans to produce a longboard made of carbon fiber that's stronger, lighter, and 100% weatherproof. Two of the brothers are here to make their case on the Innovators with Dr. K. Dr. K, take it away.
Well, thank you, Gary. Who better to innovate the skateboarding industry than a Purdue engineering grad and an IU entrepreneurship grad? What an ideal combination. So with me today is the co-founder and CEO, Paul Lierman from IU, of course, and the director of marketing, Perry Lierman, who is from Purdue. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Great to have you on the show. So I always start by asking my guests, so where did you come up with this idea?
Sure. So our little brother Daniel, he actually came up with the idea for a class project back in high school. And he had to invent a new product line for the class. And when he did that, he chose to do a longboard because he's an avid longboarder himself. So he tried to solve some of these issues that he was experiencing with his boards at the time. And he told me about this idea, and I said, I think this is really cool. What would you think about making an actual company based on this concept? And he said, sure. So I took the idea, and then at IU, I fleshed out a business plan for it, and then eventually pitched for one of my classes using the idea.
Great. So what specific problem does this solve?
Yeah, so our board addresses several problems. It's going to be superior in terms of being extremely lightweight and much stronger than traditional wooden boards. Additionally, it's going to be 100% weatherproof, and it's going to have a lot of flexibility in being 100% customizable without compromising any of the strength of the board.
So what's the specific innovation behind it now?
So what we're doing differently than everybody else is we're going to be using carbon fiber that's super lightweight. But not only is it lightweight, it's formable to any shape. Wood limits you in that you can only form certain contours with wood. And there are certain properties of boards that are favorable to have for a rider. So what we're doing is we're making a weatherproof board that's going to be lighter, but it's also going to be moldable to any shape we desire.
Wow. So what's the potential market for this?
Yeah, so our market's going to initially be free riders, which are people that board for fun, as well as commuters, primarily on college campuses. The lightweight nature of the board is going to make tricks much easier to do, and it's going to make commuting easier because you can carry the board around much better.
Gotcha. So potential capital funding sources, what are you looking at?
Sure. So we actually just closed an initial round of crowdfunding last month.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So right now, what we're looking to do to round off our initial startup costs is we're talking to some private investors, and we're going to try to solicit some funds through that avenue. While we have a couple conversations set up, we are still actively looking for investors at the moment, and we're considering other options such as grants and things as well.
Great. What do you see for the growth potential of this business?
Yeah, so our growth currently, it's looking like it could be very huge. Obviously, we're going to start at Midwestern college campuses,
right.
And then we're going to look to grow radially out from there. But then outside of that, we're looking to expand into new types of boards that can pander to different styles of longboarding, such as longboard dancing, downhill boarding, et cetera. And then even outside of that, there could be different products in totally different industries outside of longboarding altogether that could benefit from carbon fiber construction.
So describe your next steps for this coming year. What
Next steps, first we're going to fulfill perks from our Indiegogo campaign, that's a first, and then we're going to use the funds that we raise once we finish raising capital to build a mold and get a first generation of boards pumped out. That first generation is going to be distributed to brand ambassadors to get them on the streets. We believe that as soon as people step on our boards, they're going to understand why they're so special.
Right, gotcha. Well, as we do on each and every show, I try to provide some prescriptions to help our guests out. So for you guys, I came up with the 3 T's for an emerging venture. And the first T is transition. From the appearance of a hobby, as it starts as a hobby, to that of a real professional business, and I think you're on the trail to do that. The second T is team. Build a team that includes industry experience in this field to execute on your growth plans. And I think you guys are going to, are trying to move in that direction as well. And thirdly, trajectory. Focus on the viable sources of capital, like you were mentioning, that can move you to your growth plan. And I think if you do that, all these things are going to come to success for you. So I hope those help.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So where can our audience find you guys?
So the best way to contact us directly is going to be liermanbros@gmail.com. That's LIERMAN bros@gmail.com. And then, of course, we've got social media,
right.
Facebook.com/BlackCraft Boards.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it, Gary. An IU and Purdue grad teaming up and revolutionizing the skateboard industry.